Black Butler Emerald Witch arc. Let's take a look at this. So, chat, I was scrolling through wherever I scroll through to see what's going on with some new anime and everything. And I learned that they came out with a new season. They started the new season of Black Butler. It's called Emerald Witch Arc. And you know what? I don't want to know. And here's one thing, chat. I do not want to know if this is before or after or whatever, yada yada this, yada yada that. I don't want to know, because one thing I do hate about any form of media is that I hate, like, for example, we saw how Darth Vader, like, became Darth Vader, right? We saw his life all the way up to the end. I don't want to see all the way, in the beginning, or some extra side missions or stories or whatever. Like, I already know how it's going to end. I don't need to see it. There's one exception to that, and that is the Star Wars cartoon. The Star Wars cartoon was, you know what? I'll give it where credit or due, or whatever words that you say that respect for it. That was good. That was good. I haven't watched through the whole thing. It's got the same kind of vibe like Samurai Jack. It's quiet. Actions speak louder than words, kind of thing. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. Black Butler is actually one of my go-to. Is really one of my go-to. King Remedy says, I never got into Black Butler because the fan base has some freaks in it. Really? That's the first I'm hearing of it. It's the first I'm hearing of it. Black Butler it's a very, last I checked, Black Butler, it ended in a way that that's like a lot of people say it's not canon because they changed it and everything. I won't spoil anything for you guys. But I recommend going through it. I always liked the story. In fact, chat, I think I've always liked any story where they had the main character being like some kid who is smart or witty or very capable of like running stuff. And I think that's pretty cool. You don't really see too much of that. You don't see too much number one from Kids Next Door. You know what I'm talking about, chat? You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Kids Next Door, number one. You don't really see too many of those types of characters. You don't. And the bookkeeper actually told me this one. Like, you don't see too many of those types of characters. That's why she plans on bringing a lot of those types of characters to the forefront. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I have a little bit of a problem with detective stories. It's because it's especially in, like, if it's subbed, it's hard to really get behind it because there's so much reading, and if you miss or it's not translated right, you don't know what the heck is going on. You don't know what is going on. I also made sure to watch the first episode, chat, because I'm gonna start doing that now before I talk about the anime. I'm gonna at least watch the first episode so I can get like a feel for it, a vibe for it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, no, Candy, I don't know what you're saying. Well, I don't know what to tell you then. Do not know what to tell you. This chat, I don't know if you're the type of person like I am, where I will just skip the trailer. I will. I'll skip the trailer. I don't want any, because sometimes the trailer just spoils everything. It does. I don't know if this is a trailer or the ending. Either way, it was really good. They're both really good. I did not skip the trailer nor the ending on this one. Like the ending credits. I did not. I watched through it. I was tempted to. I'm like, you know what? I haven't seen Black Butler in a very long time. I want to see everything that's going on. And there was a scene in I think in the trailer or the ending, where he's just dancing with all his servants, like one-on-one. And I'm like, that is cool, man. That is cool. They animated the crap out of this one. That's also what makes it so good, is that I've always found that the animation for Black Butler always to be nice. The writing is always good. It's like that one detective girl, head in the cage girl that we talked about. I forgot which one, but she's some girl with her head in a cage, and she travels around with a maid and some type of ogre servant dude who's very funny. It has the same kind of vibe to it. Something about this type of era is very interesting to me, chat. It's very interesting. And you have out of a lot of the Black Butler, you always see some young character who, actually not all of it, not all the time. There's only one other young character who likes the main character. I forget his name, Chad. I'm sorry. I'm terrible with names. they on the first episode they kind of like set up something where it's like, oh my goodness, like what's going to happen between the main character and this girl and everything. I ain't gonna spoil it for you, chat. I'm just I'm just trying to like get you a little hyped, to go out there and watch it because a lot of people they will pass up a lot of animes, chat. They will. They was like, was that Sims when you ever played Sims? You know what I'm talking about. Whatever. I chat. This this anime has a very very good touch of comedy. A very good touch of comedy. So it's not too much silliness, but it is enough at the right moments. It's like the perfect dish if I had to explain it. And I've been explaining lately. I've been explaining a lot of the anime that I watch like food, right, chat? It's the perfect touch. Now I know like some of you out there like Candy. What about fan service? I thought you said you like fan service. So, like first off, I said I don't have a problem with it. I said I don't personally like chibi face, and there is slight chibi face here in this anime. Like throughout every season, there's always like a little bit of chibi face, but I never had a problem with it. And to my knowledge, there's like 0.1 fan service in this anime. I'm not saying you need fan service. I'm not saying you don't need fan service. I'm just throwing it out there to some of you who try to make a point on Candy. No. I enjoy things for what they are, and for what this is amazing. This is, I think, Black Butler's manga, and I've never seen said or read the manga, but I feel like Black Butler's manga created a generation of anime lovers or manga lovers at least. I don't know if it created a generation of anime lovers. Maybe after their 100th episode or something like that. Then maybe. But so far it's easily in my top. Now, if I had to compare it to some of the older anime, chat, like Big O or Yu Yu Hakusho, those are some classics, chat. Those are deep classics. Those are deep cuts. I heard someone say. I'm like, oh, that's a thing I want to say now. King Remedy says, the new season of Fire Force came out yesterday. I'm rewatching the first and second season to remember everything. I forgot how much I hate Tamaki because of all this fan service. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. I gotta watch. I gotta start rewatching. Not rewatching, but like pick that anime back up. Fire Force. I left off when some kid didn't know how to control his power. And he started like running amok. Some kid they were experimenting on, I think, and he couldn't control his power, so he started running amok, turned into a fire giant. I left off around right there, so I should probably pick that back up whenever possible. So I don't know what's going on in this particular scene, chat. I'm not too sure. I mean, I know what's going on, but I don't know what's deeper inside of this scene, because I don't know if he is like the Black Butler, right? I don't know. He carries around the Emerald Girl. The Emerald Girl, but I don't know why that is, and I don't know how tough he is, if he's tough at all. And so it's I'm really excited, man. I wanna see more Black Butler anime. I do. Say, well, Candy, why don't you just read the manga? Why don't you read the manga? All right, you read. You pick up a book. I hope because they probably made a lot of fans upset with this one supposedly not canon, not manga. They spun off and did something else. And I won't spoil it for you, but there are two types of Black Butlers, I think. There's something going on, something funky, chat. And I'm not talking about Jet Set Radio funky, all right? I'm not talking about that kind of funky. I'm talking about nasty. Something's funky is going on with the Black Butler series, like anime series, where one follows the manga, and I think there's another that doesn't follow the manga. There's a few versions of it, or at least it followed the manga at first, and then it just went off the deep end, kind of thing. And I think that's what happened. I don't know if it's close to what happened with Promise Neverland. No. And if it did happen like Promise Neverland, they somehow managed to survive. Right, chat? They somehow managed to survive. But I don't even know if this manga is still going on. And I think there's a second episode to this new season. But I don't know if this manga is still going on. Like, it would have to be, right? I mean, it's detective stuff. It's detective stuff. So I would assume that you have, as long as you can write it, there's plenty of mysteries that can be written for this. Plenty of mysteries. Do you have to be insane to write a detective story? King Remedy says, Promise Neverland and Tokyo Ghoul are the biggest examples of not following the manga and ruining the anime. Uh, mm. My co-host, me and my co-host was actually talking about this. He was saying something like, uh, he was kind of, I think, defending why they do it. But here's the thing about my co-host: he thinks outside of the box, right? Like, he's my buddy. He's my brother, a brother from another mother. But we agree on a lot of things, but he's always playing the devil's advocate. I like to play devil's advocate too, so he plays devil's advocate to my devil's advocate. And he was actually saying how, like, why a lot of uh anime do what they do, a lot of manga do what they do, and everything. Like, I don't know if you were here, like, if you've seen our playthrough of that mech game, that mech robot game. I was saying how I will never acknowledge any anime that does it, that I would never acknowledge any anime that comes out of any other country aside from Japan if they don't understand the values uh of Japan. If they don't understand anime as a whole with the values and the culture behind Japan, then it's not anime. I will forever call it a cartoon. And I do that because there's a war against anime, and if they can't destroy it, they will change it into something that is not why people started loving anime. They will destroy it like they did comics. And uh, my co-host was telling me how that's wrong and everything, and I wouldn't back down on that. Like, he sees where I'm coming from, and I told him that, hey, I get it. I get it. By definition, it's technically Chinese anime and everything. However, it's if you give, like, people who want to destroy anime an inch, they'll take a mile. It's like, if your biggest enemy on this planet, you have no enemies. If your biggest enemy on this planet takes something that you love and then destroys it, or turns into something that you consider to be destroyed, then you have a little bit of a problem on that, right? Right, chat. King Remedy says there are also examples of animes not following uh manga, and it comes out better, but it needs screening rather than throwing it out randomly. Screening is it's a word. I know that. Screening is a word, but it's when people look at it first to see how it turns out. I wonder who they get to see these things, chat. I wonder who they get to see these things. Do they have people who are deeply fans of it, or do they want people who are more, fitting their own? Do they, like? How did they get these people? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. It's like, let's say, for example, I'm gonna use Command and Conquer for this, chat. Some of you might know this, know that game. Command and Conquer. They came out with a. They were trying to come out with the Command and Conquer game where it brings all the generals together, trying to bring everybody together, like from different games, like Red Alert and Tiberian Wars and all this stuff. However, and they got a screening for it. They did a screening for it, and they were saying how it's just not, Command and Conquer. So they eventually just pulled the plug. Now, my theory on that, I told you my theory, chat, is that because they couldn't monetize it without making it unbalanced, then they just they just pull the plug on it. They just pulled the plug on it. King Remedy says usually big fans and influence and producers for streaming sites like Crunchyroll. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that personally. If the one screening it is the like another corporation and not like fans, then I think I personally have a problem with that. I do, because we see what corporations do to certain things. Chat, they ruin stuff sometimes. They can, or they can create something amazing. But I don't have a problem with corporations personally, because I know a lot of people do. I don't. I'm not smart enough to care personally. But if a big corporation is coming through and say, "Hey, Goku needs to change Goku into a turtle or something like that," I'm like, "What the heck?" Say, why? Like, because we want to save the turtles. I'm like, can you keep your message out of Dragon Ball? Goku already has a message. Thank you very much. King Remedy says, LA has secret invite only meets for influencers to watch anime and other movies and TV shows before it comes out. Yeah, I'm assuming there are some people, like some influencers, come out and say like, "Oh, we watched this and it was amazing," kind of thing, or they gotta just keep their mouth shut, kind of thing. Also, I wanted to point out that I love the art style. The artist who works on Black Butler is amazing. The art team, like all of them, the whole studio, really amazing. Like I, I was just always loved it. It was always so smooth. It's always so smooth. It's like, it feels like I'm watching a movie. It feels like I'm watching a movie. I just can't help how beautiful it is. Wow, can you have a crush on the Black Butler guy? No, not at all. But it is amazing. It is amazing. It is amazing. But I watched the first episode, chat, and I give it a 10 out of 10. I try not to rate anything anymore because I just rate everything 10 out of 10. But I would say I'm probably going to be hooked on phonics when this. You know what? In fact, I probably won't even watch the second episode. I'll probably just wait. You know, I know what, I'll probably actually watch the second episode and come back to you guys and tell you what I thought on it, because like I did with Solo Leveling. No, I don't know. I don't know. It's a detective show with action and all this other stuff, but I can't wait a whole week just to see what happens next. But I have to, in terms of the content. You know what I'm saying, chat? I have to. Anyway, chat, I just wanted to take a little time to bring this to your attention. If you've not seen, if you didn't know that a new Black Butler just came out, go watch it, chat. Go watch it. Now on with the show.